The first time I saw her, she was kneeling in a containment field beneath the flickering lights of Dock Ring 7. The energy lattice hummed softly around her, shimmering in pale blue arcs that distorted the air. A placard floated above the cage. Lot 42, Chiron female. Classification, war captive. Disposition, aggressive. Recommendation, behavioral suppression required. She didn't look aggressive. She looked contained. Her skin was a deep obsidian tone with faint silver striations tracing her cheekbones and shoulders like lightning frozen in stone. A thin metallic collar circled her throat, pulsing red every few seconds, a compliance device. Her eyes were gold. Not soft gold. Not warm gold. Solar flare gold. When our gazes met, she didn't look away. Most captives did. The auctioneer, a long-necked Valari with translucent eyelids, tapped his console. Captured during border pacification operations. Highly resilient physiology. Elevated strength-to-mass ratio. Strong will. Conditioning recommended for optimal ownership. Ownership. The word felt wrong in my mouth. Opening bid, 3,000 credits. The hall murmured. Chiron were rare on the open market. They had a reputation for being unbreakable, which made them expensive and dangerous. I raised my hand. 3,000. A few heads turned. Humans weren't known for buying war captives. We weren't known for much yet, honestly. We were still the newcomers. The upstarts. 3,000 acknowledged. The auctioneer droned. Silence followed. No counteroffers. No one wanted the trouble. The hammer struck. Sold. The field dropped. 2 security drones hovered close as she was brought forward. Even kneeling, she radiated tension, coiled like a star about to collapse. When they removed the energy cuffs, she rose slowly. The collar around her throat pulsed brighter. You understand what you have purchased? She asked in precise galactic standard. Her voice was low and steady. I do, I replied. And what is my function? The drones hovered closer, as if expecting violence. I met her gaze. Survive, I said. For the first time, uncertainty flickered in her eyes. My ship, the Far Horizon, was a retrofitted deep space hauler, half salvage tug, half transport rig, patched together from a dozen decommissioned hulls. She wasn't pretty, but she held together when it mattered. When we reached the airlock, I disabled the compliance collar. The red pulse went dark. She stiffened. You remove control? She asked quietly. I don't use collars. You purchased me. I paid to get you out of there. Silence stretched between us. You are illogical, she said at last.
Yeah.
I've been told that. She followed me aboard without another word. Her name was Verith.
She didn't offer it.
I had to ask. Chiron physiology fascinated me from a scientific standpoint. Their muscle fibers were denser than human averages. Their neural architecture showed extreme adaptability under stress. They evolved in high-gravity environments and could withstand acceleration that would black out most species. They were built to endure, which made their subjugation all the more obscene. The first few days aboard were tense. Verith stood rather than sat, ate only when I insisted, slept near the cargo hold, back to a wall, as if expecting betrayal at any moment. Clarify parameters, she said on the 3rd day. Am I labor?
No. Defense.
If you want. Companion, that's your choice. She studied me like a puzzle she couldn't solve. You paid a substantial sum. Credits are replaceable. She tilted her head slightly. You are not typical of your species. Spend more time with us, I muttered. You'll see we're consistently inconsistent. That almost earned a smile. Almost. It happened 2 weeks later. We were crossing an unregulated corridor near the Hestari Drift when 3 interceptors slid out of subspace behind us. Pirate configuration. Figures, I sighed. Vareth was at the secondary console instantly. They outgun us. Yeah, that tends to happen. You should flee. They'll outrun us. A plasma bolt grazed our starboard hull, rattling the frame. Vareth's golden eyes sharpened. Then we do not flee. She moved with terrifying efficiency, rerouting power through systems I barely remembered installing. You are not combat rated, she said. Neither is my ship. Another blast rocked us. Human, she snapped. Do you trust me? I didn't hesitate. Yes. Then angle 30 degrees port.
Now.
I obeyed. The far horizon rolled sharply, skimming debris from an old freighter wreck. One interceptor clipped a jagged engine core and spiraled off in sparks. Vareth locked onto the second. Fire when I say. You're the boss. I am not your superior. Right now you are.
A beat. Now.
I fired. The blast hit their shield gap. The third ship hesitated, then retreated. Silence filled the cockpit. We were alive. Vareth stood motionless, breathing steady. You could have surrendered, she said. Not my style. You risked destruction. I don't like bullies. She turned toward me slowly. Nor do I. That was the moment something shifted. Not ownership.
Partnership.
After that, she stopped standing at a distance. She began to ask questions. About Earth. About why humans entered interstellar politics so late. About why we involved ourselves in conflicts that did not directly affect us. Because someday they will, I answered. And because someone has to. She considered that. Chiron doctrine prioritizes survival of the collective. Human doctrine prioritizes protecting the underdog. That is inefficient. Yeah, I smiled. But it feels right. She began training again. Not because I ordered her.
Because she wanted to.
The cargo bay became a practice arena. She modified gravity plates to simulate her homeworld. Each day she pushed herself harder, muscles trembling, silver lines across her skin glowing faintly under strain. You are rebuilding, I observed once. I am remembering, she corrected. Word spreads quickly in fringe space, especially about a human captain flying with a Chiron warrior at his side. Distress signals started reaching us. Mining outposts harassed by raiders. Refugee ships denied docking rights. Small injustices ignored by major powers.
Vareth would look at me.
I would sigh. We would alter course. We weren't a warship. We weren't a fleet. But sometimes, 2 determined beings are enough. Each engagement sharpened us. Humans adapt through improvisation. Chiron adapt through endurance. Together, we became something the galaxy didn't expect. Effective. The turning point came when we intercepted a coded Chiron transmission. It was fragmented but unmistakable. Survivors. A hidden enclave deep within a nebular cluster inside occupied territory. Vareth went very still as she decoded it. They live, she whispered. Hope is a dangerous thing. You want to go? I said. Yes. You know it's heavily patrolled. Yes. Could be a trap. Yes. I studied her. You don't belong to me, I reminded her. You never did. Her gaze softened. I know. We plotted the most reckless course of my life. The nebula interfered with sensors for us and for them. We disguised our signature as debris, cut non-essential systems, and drifted through radiation storms that made my teeth ache. When we reached the enclave, I saw them. Dozens of Chiron. Weakened but alive. When Vareth stepped from the airlock, their reaction wasn't submission. It was recognition. Vareth of the Third Vanguard. One breathed. She stood taller. I am no vanguard, she replied. I am free. Murmurs spread. Free? She turned slightly, gesturing toward me. A human purchased my captivity. I shifted uncomfortably. And then he removed my chains. Silence. You serve him? Another asked. Veritha's eyes flashed.
No.
She looked at me. I chose to stand beside him. That mattered.
Choice.
The extraction was brutal. Occupation patrols detected the movement. Interceptors swarmed. The far horizon groaned under stress as I pushed her beyond safety margins. Leave us, one Chiron shouted over comms. Veritha's voice cut through the chaos. Negative. No one remains. A missile struck our port thruster. Alarm screamed. We cannot outfight them, I said. Then we outthink them, she replied. She calculated a slingshot trajectory through the densest radiation core of the nebula, a maneuver that would blind pursuit sensors, but risk frying ours. Trust me, she said. I do. We dove. The cockpit filled with static and warning lights. For 3 endless seconds, I thought we were dead. Then the stars snapped back into focus. Empty space behind us. We'd lost them. We'd saved them. Weeks later, aboard a neutral colony world, the rescued Chiron gathered in a hangar converted into temporary housing. Verith stood before them. Not kneeling. Not chained.
Standing.
You survived, she said. Not because you were owned. Not because you were broken. But because you endured. Her gaze found mine. And because someone refused to see us as property. I shifted again, uncomfortable with attention. When the gathering dispersed, she approached me.
They will rebuild, she said. Yeah.
They ask that I lead. I figured. Silence lingered. You could stay with them, I said. I could. And she stepped closer. You once told me my function was to survive. Still is. I choose more than survival. Her hand rested lightly against my chest. I choose purpose. And what's that? She held my gaze. To ensure no Chiron is ever sold again. I smiled. Sounds like a good mission. She tilted her head slightly. And you, human? I'll keep flying. Keep interfering where I'm not wanted. A faint, rare smile touched her lips. I will require transport. So you're not done with my ship? I am not done with you. That caught me off guard. Her golden eyes glowed faintly. You did not command me. You did not condition me. You believed I could be more than captive. You were always more. Yes, she said softly. But you reminded me. The far horizon changed after that. We weren't just a salvage hauler anymore. We became a symbol. A human and a Chiron, side by side, disrupting trafficking routes, escorting refugees, challenging systems built on ownership. Other humans joined similar efforts. Other species began to question long-standing practices. Change was slow, messy, dangerous. But it began. One evening, months later, we stood together at the viewport. Stars burned quietly beyond the glass. Human, Verith said. Yeah. When history speaks of this era, what will it say of you? I shrugged. Probably that I made bad financial decisions.
She almost laughed. No.
Her voice was steady. It will say that when the galaxy treated us as objects, a human treated us as equals. I looked at her. You didn't thrive because of me, I said. You thrived because you're unstoppable. She considered that. Perhaps, she said, but you removed the chain. Outside, the stars shimmered like distant fires refusing to go out. The galaxy had expected a slave. Instead, it got a leader. And all it took was one human stubborn enough to believe she could be more. Humans are fragile. short-lived, emotional. But we are also relentless. We see potential where others see property. We stand where others kneel. And sometimes, we buy someone's freedom, only to watch them rise higher than anyone imagined. Varith was supposed to be my slave. Instead,
she thrived.